Hello everyone, this is Sabrina from Sabrina the Teenage Stitch. So today's video is all about getting ready to knit and crochet. When we start to get ready to knit and crochet, what do we need to do? We need to gather all our materials, what we need to knit and crochet, such as wool, knitting needles, crochet needles, and so on and so forth. So now I'm going to show you all the material that I use every single day. And what use do they have? I will show you all that. So stay tuned. Time to gather all our materials. And right here are some of my knitting needles, because I've got many more upstairs, but most of them are here. Knitting needles of different sizes, so those are 5.5 millimeter. I don't know how that translates into America. That's 5.5 millimeters. The one I used most commonly is a 4 millimeter. That's for DK double knitting wool, or I think it is light. What is it in America? It's like a light worsted weight yarn. Okay, so besides all the knitting needles, sometimes we might need to use this type of needle, which is like a double pointed needles, and those are usually used for when you work in a round, like for a sock or a hat, when you work the crown of the hat when it gets too small at the top. So you tend to use those. And then there's a smaller needle, which is a similar type thing, but it's used for cable needles, so like Aran. So you work, Aran sweaters or things like that that involves cabling. And this is the one that you use. Then of course there are the stitch holders, which are very, very useful. So if you need to keep a few stitches to continue with your project later on, you need to save some stitches and put them here, and they stay safe because you close that, you fasten it, so all the stitches remain safe inside. Pretty good. Apart from those things, sometimes a circular needle is required. And in fact, for my knitting tutorials, I think I will use this because I am told it is easier to handle rather than knitting needles. So this is what I'll use, and those again are used to work usually in rounds or for very big projects such as shawls, because the knitting needles may not be long enough, but all the stitches will fit onto a cable onto one of those circular needles. You get different sizes circular needles. You get some that are 40 centimeters. Those are good for hats, but you get some that are about 1 meter long. And those are really good for very big projects. And again, they come in different sizes. This is a 4 millimeter size. This is for knitting. Now, I've got all my crochet hooks right here. So they are made of different materials. This is a metal one. It's a steel crochet hook and very fine, and it's usually to do things like Irish crochet or doilies or things like that made of cotton. And the one I use mainly is a 4 millimeter or a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook. This is my 4.5 millimeter crochet hook, and it's working really well with a DK or light worsted weight yarn. Also, you might need a row counter, especially for knitting or even for crochet, because you might need to keep count of the rows you're making. So you just change rows as you go. So I don't know if you can see the numbers here. Just turn it. So row 4, 5, etc., and then you just reset it yourself. Okay, what is also commonly used are, of course, scissors. You do need that to cut everything that you're doing, you know, to cut all your ends. Sewing needle, tapestry needle, sewing needle, whatever you want to call it. And stitch markers, which come in different forms and sizes. That type of, I really like those. I don't know if you can see. This one, or they are the round ones like this. There are different ones. Some of them look like earrings. They're very pretty. But I just use those. Or of course you can just use some pieces of yarn. Sometimes that's all you need. Piece of yarn between the stitches. And that's it. This is free and just very easy to obtain. Just different ways to gather some stitch markers. Oh, and of course, what you need probably the most, well, for me, it is my measuring tape, because I need to measure everything that I do, especially when I work out my gauge, because you need to work out how many stitches you can fit into 4 inches or 10 centimeters. So this is a really important part of materials, and obviously the yarn. You need the yarn or cotton or anything that you want to use. So those are most of the materials that you need. So once you've gathered all your materials, it is time to get cracking with your project. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you another day in another video. Thank you very much for watching.